Good morning, and it's a big day for the Black Stars who come up against the Pharaohs of Egypt on match day 2 of the Africa Cup of Nations. Ghana disappointingly suffered a 2-1 loss to Cape Verde, which makes a win in tonight's encounter absolutely imperative. The Egyptians themselves are reeling from the draw against Mozambique and hope to return to winning ways, making the tie tonight a promising one. My name is Haruna Mubarak, and I welcome you to the sports segment of the AM show. Let's get into the action now. And join me via Zoom is Muftar Nabila Abdullah, my colleague who is in Abidjan, to share more perspectives on tonight's game as far as the Black Stars and Egypt are concerned. Muftar, good morning. Hello, Muftar, can you unmute?
I've unmuted. Mubarak.
Yeah, how are you? How is Abidjan?
Abidjan is okay. We are all doing allez, and oui. So, yeah, Abidjan is fine.
Hope you've improved your French speaking skill. Okay, Muftar, let's get to the nitty-gritty of the topic today. On Monday, you spoke to me about how distraught the players were as far as the defeat to Cape Verde is concerned. Having watched the team train yesterday, what can you tell us about the preparedness and the readiness of the team?
Well, Mubarak, I saw a Black Stars team that looked extremely hungry. I saw a Black Stars technical bench that is willing to salvage a situation they've self-inflicted themselves. At our press conference, which happened on Wednesday, Jordan Ayew was categorical with that. He said the situation the team finds itself, they caused it themselves, and they need to find a way of coming out of it. In as much as he accepts that it is going to be quite difficult against Egypt, he also says that when things don't go your way, you need to force them. So this game against Egypt, the boys are ready to force every single thing out. And in fact, you would also notice that on my Joy Online, we published an article that was titled, "Fellow Ghanaians, Calm Down." And the content of that article was just to provide a historical context into Ghana's participation in the African Cup of Nations, which has now transcended to the FIFA World Cup. And in that article, it was stated that since 1992, Ghana has lost just one game when it comes to play in the African Cup of Nations in its second group games. And the country and has played about 19 separate tournaments. The team has won about 13 of its matches on match day 2 and drawn 5 and lost 1. So these are statistics that I put before Chris Hilton and Jordan Ayew, and they were all very clear in their mind that
yes,
statistics.
Yeah, I think let's hear from Chris Hilton, who answered your question with regards to the good omen as far as the history is concerned. So let's hear from Chris Hilton, who spoke to Muftar Nabila Abdullah.
Firstly, I don't know if the expression, I have an expression, hopefully this is a good omen, that the Black Stars in this same position throughout the years have been able to come through victorious in the second game. It is something that I am aware of, but I think the biggest motivation for the players is that we are here. We didn't get the result we needed in the first game. This is the motivation we need for the second game. We want to do well in this competition. This is the motivation that we need for this game. We are up against a big team, successful team in Egypt. This is the motivation. And probably more than anything is we are aware of expectations. We have a wonderful support behind us and always do. And there isn't one player in the squad. And Jordan's here, having played in AFCONs before and represented Ghana for so many years. There isn't one player in this squad that isn't aware of what this game means. And they're the biggest motivations that we can give to the players.
Well, first of all, I don't agree with that because everyone that plays football is bread and butter, and everyone gives his 100%. Sometimes things go your way, sometimes things don't go your way. But I think we need to do more, that's for sure. And we are ready to do more, and we are going to do more. So nobody should worry about that. And tomorrow is a big day, and we know that it's a big day, and we know how much it means to Ghanaians. And for we ourselves personally, we want to perform. We want to perform in this tournament. We didn't just come here just to visit Abidjan. We came here to perform well. So we'll see tomorrow, and we're ready, and you cannot disagree when people lack commitment, or no one lacks commitment. Everyone is fully committed. It's just that sometimes things go your way, things don't go your way, but you need to force things. And tomorrow we're going to force things, and we'll see after that.
Of Jordan Ayew with regards to the commitment level of the players. Let's talk about what Chris Hilton said in regards to the history. How confident are you that tonight's game will be different based on the historical antecedent?
Well, when I was going through the numbers, one of the things that a gentleman who has just joined me here, Atta Poku, said was
Atta Poku, good morning. My man. Hope you are doing well.
I'm pretty well, man.
Good.
Hope you are well too.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'll come to you shortly. Mufta, continue, please.
Atta Poku was telling me that I should have just allowed that history to remain hidden because making it public, I've now jinxed it, and I hope it has not been jinxed. And in fact, as we all heard from Chris Hilton, he's hoping that it is a good omen. He also says that it is something that they can use to motivate the players. They wouldn't want to be the first group of players who have failed Ghanaians by allowing that record to be crushed when they come up against Egypt later today. So I do anticipate that this is going to be a big motivating factor for the boys as they go out there. One of the challenges I always have about this team is the psyche of the boys, how they always drop their shoulders at the least adversity or setback. And I think that it is important that they are able to find their feet and go all out with the right character, the right determination, and the right hunger against Egypt later today, Mubarak.
Okay. Atta Poku, does history play a role in football?
Well, it obviously does. I mean, yesterday he also brought out another one at the Black Stars training that the last two tournaments that we've lost our opening game, we've ended up being in the final. That's in 2010 and then in 2015. So you go back, the last time we lost our opening game and ended up exiting in the group stage was in 2006 in Egypt. And even that,
and 2021.
In the second game, we ended up beating Senegal. So, I mean, there's something that is there for us. I mean, it propels you. It's a motivation. And I believe that this crop of Black Stars players will see themselves that, look, anything at all can happen. But tonight is the day, the moment that we actually came back into the competition and told the world that, look, we are four-time champions for a reason.
Let me ask you this. With regards to the comments of Jordan Ayew, do you agree with him? Because he says the players, they obviously have the desire, they have the commitment, but sometimes things does not work out well for the players on the pitch. Do you agree with him?
Well, I agree with him 100%. They have the desire, they have the passion and all that. But you see, the sometimes has become more often now. In the past, Black Stars would do so well and then there'll be one blip. That was the sometimes, so the odd one out of the many. But now the odd one out of the many is when they are winning games. So now we don't even know the Black Stars that will turn up today. Which Black Stars? The usual one, the one that doesn't play well and just loses matches at the slightest adversity, as Mustafa said, or the one that showed that, especially against the big boys, they always came to the party. It is there. The talk is a fighting talk. We would want them to replicate this on the pitch and walk that talk. You could see from his face that he's fired up. You could see from his mannerism and body language that he wasn't ready for any negative discussion. There was a point he told the Nigerian journalist that he should come back after the group stage games to ask him if they have disappointed Ghanaians in the event they fail to advance out of the group they are in. So yes, I appreciate the fighting talk, but the fight, the passion, and the desire and the commitment for it must be replicated on the Stade Felix Houphouët-Boigny pitch tonight.
Okay, Muftau, before we get into the pitch issues, I want us to talk about Chris Hilton in terms of the verbal attack he endured the last time out after the defeat. Has the FA increased any security measures just to ensure that he doesn't easily get approached by anybody else?
Well, that's quite an interesting one. And in fact, Atta Poku was there yesterday at the Black Stars training ground when the FA said that we should be about 100 or 200 meters away from the team when the team bus arrived.
Yeah.
It was not an official thing that came from the FA, but the suspicion is that it was actually an order on instruction that was given to the security officers, because prior to the Black Stars training, which started at 6:30 p.m., we were at the Egypt training ground, and we were just about 10, 15 meters close to the Egyptian players to take pictures, to take videos of them descend from their car, walked onto the training pitch and all that. But when it came to our very own Black Stars, we are over 100 meters away when the bus arrived, because the CAF media officer, Rowelna, had told us that due to security reasons, they have been told that we should be far away from the team and all that. But what I found rather contradictory was the fact that when the players started warming up and all that, they came closer to the players and we were just close to them. And I found that very interesting. In fact, Chris Hilton, when he was arranging his cones, came closer to me, just like 5 meters close to each other. So I found that quite interesting from the security officers who were there. But one of the things that I can say for sure is that probably it was one of those things the GFA wants to do to protect Chris Hilton the more. I was at that post-match press conference where some of our colleagues actually tried getting into the dressing room of the Black Stars after the press conference, where Chris Hilton has spoken about how disappointed he was, and then the players who were extremely disappointed. And the scenes we saw come out of the team's hotel, it was always important that the GFA put in the right security measures to protect the assets they've got. Trust me, we are all here because of the players. We are all here because of the technical team. If they hadn't let this team to qualify, I'm not sure many Ghanaian journalists would be here. So it is important the GFA put in the right measures, the right security for them. And I don't begrudge the security for telling us that we should stay away from the team due to security issues and all that. I feel that it's one of those things the GFA has put in place to improve security around the technical team and the players as well.
Well, a little addendum to it. Like, this is the first time I've seen Black Stars train, and then within the perimeter, the perimeter where Black Stars are training, there are 5 policemen, the local Liberian gendarmerie, 5 policemen were within the perimeter where the Black Stars
That's
were
quite extreme.
Like Muftau said, security has been beefed up around the team. There is the team security from Ghana, and then there is local Liberian gendarmerie also in the perimeter. It's not like they're even outside of the perimeter. They are within the perimeter. So if you try
and in fact, they came to where the journalists were standing. They came to where the journalists
just
were
behind
standing.
Us. Just behind us. Like, if you try anything funny, look, this will whisk you away.
And in fact, we were actually even warned that if you try going beyond where the security were, they will revoke your accreditation.
Absolutely, there is a limited mark.
That's quite serious.
Don't go beyond your boundaries.
That's quite serious. Muftau, Chris spoke about Mohamed Kudus yesterday, that he would be assessed ahead of tonight's game. Do you have any update on his fitness level? Would he be able to feature maybe for some minutes tonight?
Well, that's quite an interesting question to ask. Maybe we can take what Chris Hilton said. Though I would not take it hook, line, and sinker because of what I knew even before I left Ghana, because of what I knew even before Mohamed Kudus arrived in Ghana to join the team camp. And some of the snippets of information that was available to me was the fact that Mohamed Kudus was not going to be available for the first 2 games. It is interesting to actually see that he's been able to train for the last 3 days. We suggest that the medical team are doing a very good job to get him back into fitness. The first few days that they were here, he was mostly training alone. He joined the rest of the boys to start training. That was on Monday. And even the Monday training session, my understanding was that he didn't complete the entire session. He did a bit personally and join the rest of the group. But on Tuesday, he entrained with the whole team. And in fact, as at 10 p.m. yesterday, the intel available to me was the fact that he trained fully again. So as Precision mentioned, they are going to assess him this morning to make a determination as to whether he will be available. I wouldn't be surprised if he's given some minutes in this game. It is quite an important match. This actually takes me back to 2015 when Asamoah Gyan was attacked by malaria and was not available. Ghanaians were doubting.
Yeah.
We all had our issues because Asamoah Gyan was the spine of that team. And interestingly, Mohamed Kudus too, though he's very young, he's actually the spine of this team. Without Mohamed Kudus, you are wondering where the next creative player is going to come from, where the magic is going to come from in this Black Stars team. So hopefully, Mohamed Kudus will be available to play some minutes later today. I don't think it is going to be a risk. I'm sure the physios, in fact, we were all at the training ground. We saw the West Ham physios who were all around at the Black Stars training ground yesterday. I'm sure they are working well with the Ghana medics, the likes of Dr. Prince Pambo and co, to ensure that they get the right decision, which is going to be in favor of both West Ham and Ghana. And it is important that Mohamed Kudus is available for the game later today. He might just be that man who will score that goal against Egypt and change everything for Ghana.
Yes,
potentially we are looking at the Comoros situation here in the World Cup. Like, I'm not so convinced that he is going to start. Looking at him, and then looking at Egypt. Egypt are coming from the Muftau perspective strongly. Their coach, Rui Vitoria, was quite clear that they have prepared for him and that they are going to play with him in mind. And also understand that we have other very good players who are capable of inflicting damage on the Egyptians. But when it comes to that person, Mohamed Kudus, his first statement is that, look, just as he said, even before the opening game, the best players must always be available for this competition. And that Mohamed Kudus is a fantastic footballer. One he, Rui Vitoria, personally likes, and I've loved watching him playing for West Ham this season. And it's quite clear that Ghana will need him, and that's why they are preparing for him. So Egypt are actually prepared for him, which means there is something happening behind the scenes. So quite like the Comoros World Cup qualifier, you can come in at any time and then run the show for us.
Atta, bearing in mind the precarious position of the Black Stars as far as the group standings are concerned, if Ghana loses tonight, do you think, or would you suggest to the technical team to feature Kudus? Maybe they should start him, or he should come off from the bench and then make an impact? Or because he's not fit, they should just stick to the players they have and ensure that he becomes fully fit before they feature him?
It has always been the balance between footballers whom you guys call in Accra Bogbe. They would always want to play.
Yes.
In the local balance.
In the local balance, sorry. And then a player who needs to be protected now for a brighter future. So finding the balance is difficult. Kudus wants to play. Left to him alone, he will be agitating to play because these are footballers. And this is what they always do. But then the other thing here is that you need to hold him back small. But knowing Ghana, and with the precedent of 2015 mentioned by Muftau, I'll go back as 2006. When right after the game against Zimbabwe, we asked Ratomer Djukovic, why did you play Stephen Appiah, a one-legged Stephen Appiah? And he said, look, a one-legged Stephen Appiah is just one pass away from deciding a game. So look, a one-legged Mohamed Kudus is one pass away, one moment of brilliance away from deciding a game. And I feel that that balance between a game changer and protecting him is what is going to win tonight. I genuinely feel he will get some minutes. And
Moba, just to add to what Atta has said. You remember that interview I had with Dr. Prince Pambo, where he said that, yes, the medical team can tell the coach that maybe Mohamed Kudus is 70% fit for this game, or even 60% fit. And we suggest to him that, okay, because the player is 60% fit, we think he can play about 30 minutes. So it is a decision of the coach to go like, okay, if Mohamed Kudus is 60% fit, he is better than 100% fit another player in the team. So the coaches would always go for players that, as I just mentioned, even with one leg, the person is able to produce moments of magic that can influence the outcome of the game. You won't be surprised you have Mohamed Kudus. The coach, Chris Hilton will ask him, walk as long as you want, keep walking, don't work so hard. But when you get the ball, let the magic happen. And that's what is definitely going to happen. He might just put it up there and tell the boys, let the ball get to Mohamed Kudus. And he might just be the person to create something for us. So whether he's fully fit or not fully fit, it's a discretion of the coach to determine whether he plays or not. Mubarak.
Yeah. One player that played his role in the game against Cape Verde is Yeboah Koningsdorfer. Muftar, from what you observed at the training session last night, how was his demeanor like? Because he came under intense pressure after the game against Cape Verde. Is he in a good mood? Is he ready to play again? Do you think the coach will start him? Yes.
In fact, you have the videos there. The facial expression you saw. Did you see a disappointed? You see, these are professional footballers.
Absolutely.
These things happen, right? There will be moments you will have a very good game. There will be moments you will not have a very good game. I've heard many people go like he was set up to fail, or they drop in the middle of the sea and expect him to swim against the tide and all that. Trust me, Ransford Yeboah himself, I'm sure he wanted to actually impress Ghanaians, but it never worked his way. So he needs to recover. You see, and in fact, Victoria mentioned something. Facing challenges is normal in the game of football. Overcoming those challenges or responding to those challenges is what makes you a team. So I think that Ransford Yeboah, I'm not sure he's one player who is actually so perturbed about what happened. In fact, when we're going out of the team's training page, I was telling Richard Ofori that we are here because of you. He turned back and said, come and watch us play again tomorrow.
Wow.
This clearly tells that this was a player that many of us have said made mistakes that led to Ghana's defeat. And in fact, some of his colleagues even shaded him. In as much as they were not categorical that they were referring to him, one of the things they said was that we are professional footballers and cannot be making such elementary mistakes.
Amateur mistake.
You can't have that. But these players, they see it happen week in and out. There's a day they'll produce some phenomenal performance, another time it will not work. It is important to be very consistent in terms of performance. But if you produce such social performances, sometimes you make it very difficult for even the technical team to say, what kind of player are we expecting today? Because he hasn't been consistent for us to be able to go like, okay, we are either dropping him or we are letting him play. So it is important that I put it here that the Ransford Yeboah I saw, his demeanor did not suggest that he's been psychologically affected.
Okay.
These things, they are footballers. They see them. They see what we write and talk about them all the time. I remember about 3 years ago, one footballer was telling me that, do you know the things you people write we see? I was like, but the things we write are not private, they are public. So we are in the same echo chamber. Are not private, they are public. So I know they see them, but these are things that would actually motivate them to come back stronger. And I think Ransford Yeboah will definitely do that.
Okay. Atta Poku, would you stick to the lineup against Cape Verde?
No, I won't.
Okay.
We can't have a rusty goalkeeper and then a rusty centre back. Okay. No, we can't risk that.
Yeah.
We can't. We were at the team training for Egypt. And look, yes, Mohamed Salah is there, but I think the Mustafa boy is going to be very key in what they do today. Why? His endless energy and constant running. That's what they are bringing to us, to exploit the spaces in between the fullbacks and the centre backs. When Egypt were training, it was quite clear what they had planned to come and do, and they'll come and execute it. We need energy, industry, 100% application, focus and commitment in this game. And that's why I would excuse Salisu and bring in Amate for this very game. You need to be fit and focused for 95 or so minutes.
That's what
Jordan actually said that yesterday, that look, they were not focused enough for 95 minutes, and that's why they lost the game. So look, you see, we are playing a tournament in the middle of the season. A lot of these players have already warmed themselves into the season, operating at optimal levels. Now, if you bring in a player who is just coming back from a long layoff He is now chasing match fitness in a competition where others are far ahead of him. It makes it difficult for these people. So, my brother, we keep him at our own peril, knowing that our goalkeeper has also not been fully involved with his club side in South Africa. So, if you are playing Ofori, then you can't have Salisu there. It must be Amate. And then the yellow card easily nullified by Bayusu. So, if Salis is that okay, and there is nothing wrong with him, and you know he's been operating at optimal levels too for RC Lond, then I suggest that our double pivot should have him as the destroyer and then Majid Ashmeru as the progressor.
Okay. How about the tactical display of the team? What should be the instruction? Should we go all guns blazing, start on the front foot, offensively attack, or we should probably sit back and then try to be explosive in transition?
I spoke to the other Chris, the video analyst, and then he was like, just watch the Mozambique game again. Mozambique were on the front foot and they had chances.
A plethora of them.
A plethora of them. And they actually stayed in the game. By staying in the game, their focus helped them because in the first 15 minutes, Egypt could have scored 3 goals. But they didn't. They didn't panic to Mozambique. They stayed in the game and they created chances. They were a late Mohamed Salah penalty away from winning this game. And that's exactly what we have to do. Apply, be on the front foot. But in those 1v1 duels all over the pitch, we must be first to the ball. That's the only way we can have a chance against them. And I genuinely feel we do have a chance against them.
Yeah, we do have a chance. But I actually also think that, like Rupert Victoria said, he doesn't subscribe to the weather being an issue because the two teams are playing under the same weather. They're playing under the same temperatures, same humidity and all that. So he doesn't subscribe to the assertion that, the Egypt players might get tired and Ghana will have an advantage because Ghanaian players have got a certain weather and all that. One thing we all need to note is that most of these players, they apply their trade abroad. The weather that they get used to it before coming here is quite different. Take a look at that game against Cape Verde, and you will notice that most of our players who were on the flanks, by 60th minute, they run out of gas. And I feel that I will not go with the angle of attack, where we'll have to conserve loads of energy, keep our shape. Be very mindful of the threat of the likes of Trezeguet and Mustafa. I also think that we should be very mindful of the fact that the Mohamed Salah we saw against Mozambique is going to be a different beast. In fact, we spoke to an Egyptian journalist who said Mohamed Salah is 31. He's arguably one of the best players to come from Egypt. But one thing he needs to cement his legacy with is to win a title with this group of players. If he's not able to do it, then Mohamed Salah, who is being eulogized worldwide and in the Arab world, will not be appreciated like his talent has been appreciated by many. So I think he's going to be a different animal later today against Ghana. So for us, and having always watched Chris Hilton, who prefers to be, what do I call it, very conservative, very cautious in his approach, I would not subscribe to us going gun blazing, considering that how erratic we are at the back. You're definitely going to have a Mustafa run through. You're going to have a Trezeguet run through and make life very difficult. Mohamed Salah going towards. In fact, if you run towards Salisu and he starts, we are in danger. So I believe that we should be very cautious in our approach, and it's not just, but one goal, one moment. It takes just a second to change an entire game. And once that second comes in our favor and we are able to take it, it could spell the end of Egypt in this game. I have an issue with Chris Hilton sometimes when he decides that he wants to go for a draw, like we saw against Cape Verde. By the 80th minute, he wanted to shut it down. That was when he started planning to bring on Salis into the team and all that. I would always say, the decisions of a coach, when they go his way, he's a genius. When it fails to go his way, then it is also for him. Then we'll describe him as a terrible coach, and his decisions are not good. But I would prefer, or I would suggest that we do not go all out attacking these Egyptians, by the time we realize we will take it 3, and when we take 3, even 1, the body language of our players changes.
Okay.
It falls off. And if we take 3, game over.
Yeah. Muftau, I would come to you guys for your concluding thoughts on the game tonight. But I want us to, I'm in Accra, so let's go to Circle, where Sweetie is there talking to some fans about the game tonight.
Black Stars are playing against the Pharaohs tonight at 8 p.m. in the AFCON. This is the second game. And we've seen a lot of people who are dressed up, ready to support. Did you watch the game? Tell us your name first, and then did you watch the game?
All right, my name is Priscilla, and yes, I did watch the game. I know, it wasn't what we were expecting, but then today, I know for sure that we are winning the match.
So what do you think is your ideal starting 11?
Pardon?
Ideal starting 11, or do you think Kudus will play?
Well, I watched the news, and then I learned I think he has an issue with his leg, and then I don't think he will play. But then we are still hoping for the best.
What do you think they can do today differently to ensure that we go home with a win? Because we need a win badly today.
Okay. I think they should promote teamwork within the team members. They should play together and then unity. And they know Ghana is supporting them today. So they need to win the match. It's 3-0.
3-0. Thank you so much for your patriotism. And I also have here OBK. OBK, did you watch the game yesterday on Sunday?
Yeah, I did watch the game on Sunday. I was expecting so much, but I think they did well, they did well, yes. Because the people, the Cape Verde players, I think they were very fast with the ball. Whenever they get the ball, they don't relax. They run with the ball. So I think the Black Stars were able to match their speed. Yeah, they did very well.
What are you looking forward to today in today's game?
I still have hope in the Black Stars. I haven't lost hope. I believe they are going to make us proud. Yes, they are really going to make us proud, because I heard we've actually played against Egypt before. Yes, so we can do it. We can do it. I believe in them. Go Black Stars.
Go Black Stars, go. So there's excitement here today. 3 go. Oh wait, what's your prediction today?
I've never predicted a game before, but I'm hoping for 2-0.
2-0 it is. Hello, please come and talk to us. Are you looking forward to the game tonight? All right, so we'll bring you, we are trying to get responses from as many people as possible. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. Keep watching. Over to you in the studio. We'll come back when we have more respondents.
Well, interesting thoughts there. Muftau, how is the mood like in Abidjan ahead of tonight's game? From the fans' perspective, because we heard a story yesterday of them taking $400 each. And will they be troubling?
And I remember about it. I don't know if you watch AFCON today. I did say that. Well, journalists decided to report on the supporters, but they've forgotten that they are also part of a contingent that game.
Let's talk about the fans.
To do the stories.
Journalists are exempted, yeah.
But the supporters I saw yesterday were very optimistic. They were shooting Jaman, they were dancing and all that. And in fact, they actually said that they don't just go on the pitch to support or to the stadium to support the team. They do other things outside the pitch. So you're wondering the kind of things they do outside
tell us.
The pitch to support the team. To support the team to be able to win. There's high optimism. It's just that a few are quite indifferent, like my good friend here, who sometimes is indifferent. You heard him earlier say that he doesn't know the kind of Black Stars that will turn up.
Exactly.
So you're wondering.
Black Stars are like Manchester United.
Your producer will kill you today. And he will take off your head. But the thing is that many of our colleagues here are very confident. And I will always say, the success of the Black Stars, the success of any sporting federation, the success of any athlete in Ghana is a success of a journalist, a sports journalist to be precise. If the Black Stars were not here, we wouldn't be here. We are here to tell their story. And we are here as a group that is committed to throwing our weight behind this team. And I'm very confident that some of my colleagues, like Atta, who is indifferent, haven't listened to me will change his mind. I'm not a politician, but I think that I'll be able to convince you now to support the team. And the supporters as well. Like I mentioned, the supporters hope. I was with them, I interacted with them, and they are very optimistic that tonight is going to be a very good night for Ghana.
Atta, what do you think?
I hope so. I hope so. I wish the players were saying this and not my colleague journalists. You know what? We want to see some desire. We want to see some fight. We want to continue our stay here. The tournament is so boring when your team is not involved anymore. The GFA and the Black Stars should know that our success as journalists is hugely dependent on their success on the field. And it gives us so much space to maneuver, and it fills us with so much warmth. I want to write that the Black Stars have won. You see, the line between subjectivity and objectivity when you are following the Black Stars is so thin, and we tend to lean towards the subjective side. We are Ghanaians first and foremost before becoming journalists. Go Black Stars, go. Let's do this.
And we are doing it tonight. We are doing it. I just think history will be in our favor tonight.
Okay, so I'm going to push you guys to the wall. I need predictions.
I thought Echo was telling you to go, or?
No, I need predictions. He's telling me to stay. Yes. So, Mufta, what do you think? I need a score line. You guys are there.
The word on the pitch is that we are winning 2-1. So we are all saying Ghana 2, Egypt 1.
Yeah, that is for your friend. Atta Poku, he speaks very good French, so I'm not part. My prediction will be after the game.
Okay, that's fine.
I think the worst for Ghana will be a draw. That will be the worst.
But will draw be good for the Black Stars?
It doesn't matter. If we get a draw,
we are still in the competition.
We pull out our calculators and start putting the mathematics together.
XY, pi r squared, all rooted in the square root x over 2.
X squared.
We are not doing log division here.
Find x. So we'll be there. We'll put out the calculators and we'll hope and pray that we'll beat Mozambique and then qualify. We just don't want a repeat of what happened in Cameroon.
We can't live with that. It's a double scar, no. Like double exit. No, we can't live with that. Sorry.
Okay. Guys, thank you very much for your time. My two vaunted sports journalists in Ghana. Thank you very much for your time. Mufta and Atta Poku.
You're mad.
So what? Yeah, we wish the Black Stars, the very best of luck tonight, and there will be more analysis on AFCON today on the Joy News channel and on Joy Prime channel as well at 1 p.m. My name is Haruna Mubarak. That's how we end the sports segment on the AM show.